Good morning students, Sairam. Let us learn a new chapter in EVS 1, lesson number 13, Directions and Maps. Children, in today's chapter we are going to learn about what are the main directions, on what basis do we, come to understand in what direction we are standing, or in what direction the sun rises, in what direction the sun sets. All this we are going to learn in today's video. So let us start by learning the new words. The first word is COMPASS, compass. ROSE, rose. Compass rose is an instrument which is used to help in identifying the directions. See, this is the picture of a compass rose. The N, can you see this N up? This is north. This N stands for north. Okay, then 1 minute. Then this S stands, the down part S stands for south. Okay, this is west and this is east. So these are the four main directions. The compass rose helps us to tell the directions. What does the compass rose helps? Helps us to tell the directions. So a compass rose is an instrument which helps us to show the directions. Now see the second one. PROPORTIONATE, proportionate. Proportionate means balanced, not less, not more. You know, in a balanced way, that is called proportionate. Okay, exact. Third one, SUBDIRECTIONS, subdirections. Subdirections, apart from the main four directions, north, south, west, east, there are four subdirections which helps us to tell the exact location of a particular place. Okay, so they are known as subdirections. We learn about this later, and as we watch the video, you will come to know what are subdirections. Fourth one is PARALLEL, parallel. Parallel means when two lines or two things do not meet each other and do not intersect, means they do not touch each other, they are known as parallel. What they are known as? Parallel. It can be lines, it can be roads, okay, whatever, but they do not touch each other or they do not come and meet each other. They are always opposite to each other. Okay, so they are known as parallel. Fifth one, COMPARATIVELY, comparatively. Comparatively means, when you compare two things or when you compare one thing with many other things, that means comparatively something is less or something is more in that particular thing or object, whatever you are comparing. Okay, so now are you clear, and now do you know the meaning of each new word which we learned just now? And I hope students you have made a note of all these new words in your notebook. Am I right? So let us begin. Now this is an instrument which is called compass rose. I showed you. Now what are we going to learn today? There are four main directions. How many directions? Four. There are four main directions: north, south, east and west. Okay, north, south, east and west. These are the four main directions. See, can you see this picture here? North is up. Okay, so the upper part is called north. Then comes the south, just opposite to north. Okay, then comes west on your left hand side and east on your right hand side. So your head is your north, your toes are your south, your left hand is your west and your right hand is your east. So like that you can study directions. Okay, so how many four main directions are there? North, south, west, east. Clear? Now many things lie between two main directions. Many things means there are different and numerous and variety of things which are there in our nature, which we on earth. So there are so many things which lie between these two main directions. To determine the direction in which they lie, we use sub-directions. But see, there are four main directions, they will tell you. But to know the exact location of a particular place or a thing, we need sub-directions too. So can you see, this is a picture of sub-directions. Now as I told you, pay attention to this picture properly. This is north, south, west, east. So the purple ones which I have circled, they are the four main directions. And can you see the picture of the sun there? Okay. See here. Sunset, sunrise. Okay. So the sun rises in the east and the sun sets in the west. So that is why the sun's picture is shown there. Okay. Now we will talk about the sub-directions. Now what are sub-directions? Pay attention here carefully. Now between the north and the west, first we are going to see this area. Okay, can you see? We are going to learn about this particular area. Between north and between west, the area which lies in between north and west is known as northwest. Easy? So the place or the area which lies between north and west is known as northwest. Okay. So this is the first sub-direction. Then the area which lies between north and east, that is here. Can you see? This is known as northeast direction. So this is number 2. Northeast direction. The area or a place which lies between north and east is known as northeast or northeast direction. Then third one, here. The area which lies between south and east is known as southeast directions. Which direction? Southeast direction. Okay. And 1 minute, I'll just rub this out so that you can see properly. Okay. I'll only circle those directions and sub-directions. Okay. And the area between south and west is known as southwest direction. Okay. See, this is known as southwest direction. So you have four main directions and four sub directions. What are the four main directions? North, south, east, west. Okay, or west, east. Then comes the four sub directions, which are those northwest. Can you see I'm ticking? Northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. Okay, now let me get this picture clear again. I'll show you. See, which are the four directions, main directions. Okay, north, south, west, east. These are your four main directions. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Same way we have four sub directions. Okay, the one which I am marking with purple now. See, this is northwest is your number 1. 1 minute. Okay. Northwest is number 1 sub direction. Northeast is number 2. Southeast is number 3 and southwest is number 4. So how many sub directions? 4 sub directions. Northwest, northeast, southeast and southwest. The area which lies between north and west is known as northwest. The area which lies between north and east is known as northeast. And the area which lies between east and south is known as southeast. And the last, the area which lies between south and west is known as southwest. So these are the four sub directions. Okay. Now directions are always parallel to the ground. Very, very, very important. Directions are always parallel, means they never intersect the ground, they never touch, they are always parallel to the ground. That is why a map must always be aligned to the local directions. And a map helps us to locate the exact place which we are finding, or whatever. A map helps us to show or to locate a particular place. Okay. This makes it easier for us to understand the map and the region. So because of the directions, it helps us to understand it in a easier way about the maps and about the region. See, many tourists who travel far away places, who like to explore new places, they always carry a map in their hand. So according to the map, they go and locate places whichever they want to explore, and the map helps them to tell the direction. They may even have a compass rose to tell the directions of a particular place, but a map is the exact and the accurate thing on which you can rely. Okay, it gives you the correct information about the direction of a particular place. Places in our surroundings are often located at some distance from one another. So yes, places means there is gap, or you can say there is a particular distance between two places and many places. The places are not stuck to each other. There is a particular distance between each place. Okay, and this distance is being covered, or it is being located by the map. These places are large in size and maps are comparatively quite small. Now, have you ever imagined a map is on a piece of a paper and the world is so huge? So how does the world fits in such a small map? It is all about, this what you can say, technology. It is all about the accurateness of drawing a map. Drawing a map is not easy. It requires a lot of, first of all, you have to carry correct information about that particular map. Then you have to measure and you have to draw. Each and everything on the map is accurate. Nothing is wrong. So experts are appointed, or they are there to draw the sketch of a map. Okay. Therefore, the distance between these places has to be shown in a very limited space on a map. See, suppose the distance between, now suppose, see, you are watching me on the mobile, but if you measure the distance between your place and my place, that much distance, so much, there is so much distance, yes or no? It is not, we are not near to each other, we are very far to each other, but that distance is being limited, it is being made smaller and being drawn on a map, but with the exact measurement. And the map will never show you wrong information about a particular place. When we draw pictures of houses, mountains and people, we draw them to fit the size of the paper we are drawing on. Yes, you cannot see, mountains are so huge, so when you are drawing it on a map, you cannot draw it so huge. You have to limit the space, you have to make your drawings smaller, but measurement and accurateness should not be incorrect. According to that, on the basis of these two concepts only, you can draw that map. It is the same while drawing maps. So this only concept is being used while drawing a map. While drawing a map, the distance between two places on the ground has to be shown in such a way that it fits the paper. See, when you are drawing a map, you are drawing it on a piece of paper, means you are drawing it on a paper. So you need to show the exact measurement and the exact distance covered between the two places, and it has to be fit on that map. You cannot go beyond that paper. Everything you have to do it on that particular paper. So you have to be very, very careful. The distance on the map is proportionate to the distance on the ground. See, as I told you, suppose the the distance is 35 kilometers or 100 kilometers. Same way, same distance is shown on the map, only the size differs. The measurement never differs, only the size matters. Okay, directions and subdirections have been determined by man on the basis of rising and setting of the sun. Thus, nature can be our guide. So, yes, in previous days where clocks, watches, mobile phones were not available, that time man used to, rely on nature. He used to tell the directions, he used to relate and locate the directions on the basis of rising and setting of the sun. As we all know, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So same way, on the basis of these natural things, man used to get an idea about the directions of the places. Now we'll take a recap of what did we study in today's video. First one, we saw identifying subdirections. First we saw the main directions, that is north, south, west, east, and then we saw about the subdirections, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So as there are four main directions, there are four main subdirections too. Then we saw the compass rose. A compass rose is an instrument which helps to tell about the directions, okay, which helps us to tell the directions. Then we saw about the proportionate nature of maps. Even though the distance on the ground is much, means if it is 100 kilometers, on the map it will be 100, only the size will matter, only the shape and the size will matter. The relation between distances on a map and on the ground, we saw that the ground is always parallel to that. See this point, what we saw, the distance on the map is proportionate to the distance on the ground, and this point parallel one, we saw that directions are always parallel to the ground. Yes, so they are always parallel to the ground, and that is why a map helps us to align and locate the places. Okay, because the directions are always parallel to the ground. So children, we studied about the main directions and about the sub directions, and I hope you have understood what I have taught you today, and I hope that you have made a note of all the important points which we studied in today's video. Thank you children for listening to me carefully. Goodbye. Take care.